Hi, welcome to Youth Focus. My name is Rick Vaccaro. I'm the Vice Mayor of the City of Fairfield, and we are at the Sullivan Interagency Youth Center, which is now the new home of PAL. And with me today is the Chief of Police of Fairfield, Chief Tibbett, and he is our guest today. And Chief, I want to start out by asking you, tell me about how this all got started, how the move here to Sullivan and the partnership with the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District.
Great. Well, first off, thanks very much for having me on here. This is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
When you look around this facility and all the things that have happened already, it's very exciting. This process and this program is the culmination of years of discussion. I know your input has been incredible on this, talking about what we're going to do to help our kids navigate the world that we live in. Sean Quinn had extensive conversation with me when he brought me here in talking about the needs of kids. And so what we were able to accomplish, thanks to Jackie Cottingham Diaz, as former superintendent, our current superintendent, Chris Corey, what we're seeing here today all around us is the results of years of discussion and the stars lining up the right way with great people. Right. I think one of the exciting things about this is that the program that we're talking about came about during very difficult times, but it was a real leap of faith, if you will, by you and your colleagues on the council, by the school district, the school board. And basically it came out that we had to do something different if we're going to take care of our kids today. That when you look around what's happening, not just in Fairfield, but in so many places where kids are falling through the cracks, where kids' needs aren't being met for a variety of different reasons, is there a better way? And in talking with so many people, between many of our kids, so many of the folks that working with our kids, between our officers, representatives of the school district, your expertise was very helpful. That we needed to go ahead and try to crack that mold and break down silos. And we thought that if we were to be able to go ahead and create the dialogue between student services, our youth intervention people, our school resource officers, our probation department, that it would be a great way to go ahead and meet their needs. And then it came down to later on, God, if we could find a facility that we could maybe kind of bring things together, it would be great.
Well, yeah, before I'm going to ask the chief about the facility, but the chief and I have had long conversations. We both share the same passion for youth in this community, especially the at-risk youth that really need a place, a safe haven to go to, and this appears to be that safe haven. But Chief, tell us a little bit about the facility. Obviously you still have the boxing, you have the gym, and any plans you have for the future, your vision here?
Yeah, one of the great things that came about is that the initial dialogue about other ways to serve the kids. And it was very clear early on that there was so much good work going on in this city, and much of it under the radar, but it was being done individually. The police department did its thing, the school district did its thing, student services did its thing, PAL did its thing, probation was operating. And so it was through a conversation that when Sullivan became available, the Sullivan campus is within a mile radius of over 60% of the calls for service in the police department. The Sullivan campus was an area that was also the impetus for so much need between different schools, and that it was just sitting here at the time without being used. And so we approached the superintendent and said, please give us an opportunity to take this campus and let's try doing some different things with it. And so the first idea, if we're going to set a core and a foundation, the core of the school district was student services and their outreach. The core for the police department to try to bring kids off the streets was PAL. So the idea was, if we brought those two entities together, this would provide an opportunity for us to go ahead and meet those kids' needs. And then some of the things that you'll see here on the campus, that we had a full service kitchen and that we had the extra classrooms, the idea was if we could go ahead and start with the core services, what else could we bring to bear that would benefit not only the higher risk kids, but all our kids?
You know, for years now, I've been working with, you know, a lot of the at-risk community here, the young people in Fairfield. And I know that one thing that the kids ask a lot about that I work with, hey, you know, what can we do in Fairfield? Where can we go to be safe? You know, there's not enough to do, and I keep always getting that questions. And now with the PAL Center here, and when the PAL Center first started, I see some real encouraging movement, you know, toward that. And bringing in people, you know, where I work, we try to bring in, you know, mentors that come in, you know, not your traditional, but people that come in that can, you know, the kids can really look up to and want to work with. So, Chief, as far as the PAL Center goes, what do you see as far as people coming in and working, community members and, you know, mentors, say?
Well, I think our PAL program has proven in its early years to be one of our most important and one of our most effective crime prevention tools. And when you look at a society that has so many kids struggling in so many places, what this community did is truly remarkable in terms of not only advancing PAL, and it's beyond boxing, it's not just sports, it's not just young men. That the programs we have for women, the student council, the student government, the TV and recording studio for young people, it is really a draw across this community. And then one of the things that I've always believed in, that if we are going to change what we do in policing, we can't just go ahead and go out and try to catch the bad guys. We've got to get in the front end and try to prevent that. And if there's ever a time to focus on youth, when we looked at what's happened with realignment, we look at what's happened in the state with the prison system, we know if we catch the kids early on and meet their needs early, that we can kind of turn that around. And I think that that's what this is about, and that's what Sean bought into and what the school district bought into, is that if we, Fairfield, want to do something different for kids that have struggled, and you know, we've talked so much about mentorship and the needs for that.
Absolutely.
This provides a vehicle where we can not only do the expanded things in PAL, but we can go ahead and create a mentorship program that's going to last, that we're going to go ahead and create an opportunity for kids that struggle in a traditional environment in the schools to do some different programming so that they can be successful. I think that as we continue to work here in this community, in this center, that the folks who do the work here, the Sergeant Corellas, the Will Bibles, the Angie and Liz from the school district in Andrew, we're going to see them help identify needs, and the kids, listening to the kids talk about things that would help them stay off the streets. That I think this is going to be a beacon for young people in the future, and it's going to help them make the good decisions as opposed to the decisions that are so that they struggle with out there that get them off the streets. So we really think this will continue there.
Perfect. You know, it's the relationship kids and adults, and it's happening right here. Happening with the school district, and it's happening with the police. You know, I couldn't think of a better guest to have tonight than Chief Tibbett here, and I know he's really expanded on the role of PAL and the future of PAL. And Chief, I just want to thank you for being
very
the
much,
guest tonight. And we'll be right back, so stay tuned.
I grew up in Fairfield. I've been here since I was 3 years old.
Since I was in kindergarten.
Born and raised here.
1959.
I've been here my whole life.
Fairfield means family.
Home.
Diverse.
Great place to live.
Fairfield has a good mix of people from all walks of life.
I feel very comfortable here.
Safe, I feel happy.
It is my city.
My city.
This is my city.
My city, Fairfield,
California.
It's my city.
All right, welcome back. We're here at the PAL Center again, and with me is Sergeant Corella. Sergeant Corella, how you doing tonight?
Great.
All right.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. So tell me what you think of the new center here.
I think it's great. It's going to be an added bonus to have so much room. It's a more updated facility. Everything works, and we have room to expand. Where we were at, we we're pretty tight.
Pretty tight.
Pretty tight.
So now that you're in a new location, have you seen has there been a drop in numbers, or everybody kind of knows where it's at? And
Initially, we saw a drop in numbers just because we were closed for a couple days while we took care of the move. The numbers have kind of went back to normal where they were at the old center. Now we're kind of trying to focus on bringing the numbers up even higher so that we have so much more room and so much more potential for growth that we want to start adding new programs and new things that we do here.
Well, it's a great facility. I took a tour the other day, and I was like, wow, this place can really expand. So let me ask you, what I've seen in the old Pal Center and from my visits here, okay, is the relationship between the police and the youth that come here and how that's just grown over the last couple of years. Do you see that just continue, and any future activities you have?
Yeah, well, as we continue through this process, we're going to start improving the programs that we do run, and we're going to start incorporating more police officers to do more things with the kids. Walking through the center now, I know a majority of the kids, and they know me.
Right.
And our goal, obviously, is to get more policemen involved in the center, involved with the kids. And the more policemen we have and the more activities you run with the policemen, the better off we are.
Yeah, what I do for a living is I work for County Office of Education and work with a lot of at-risk kids, and I know that a lot of those kids in the past have really enjoyed coming here. And Will came to our school and did a presentation over at Golden Hills, and the kids were really excited about it. So that's one thing I would like to see. Will come back and do more presentations, because
Absolutely.
Obviously these are kids that have been in trouble, but they really need a place like this.
And
absolutely.
Funny you should say that, because we just scheduled to send some of our PAL staff to all of the high schools.
Great.
To let everybody know a lot of the new features that we have.
Perfect.
A lot of kids don't know that we're pretty close to opening a full service gym with elliptoglide, weight benches, the whole thing.
Great.
So that's another thing that people, once the word starts getting out, it's going to be great.
Okay, so what is the age limit here? Like, how old can they be to come here?
18. At 18, you age out, unless you're still in school.
And how about young?
I believe it's 13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders.
Perfect.
We take them all.
Great. All right. I mean, and the word around, because I know a lot of kids in town, and I've heard nothing but positive things about the center. A lot of, positive talk about both Will and Heather and all they do. And you, Sergeant Corella, you seem to be pretty popular in town, and so.
Well, the more kids we get here, the less chance they're going to get in trouble. And this is truly, it's also a crime prevention tool. If they're here, they're safe. If they're here, they're not breaking into things. If they're here, they're not involved in gangs. They're not involved in fighting. They're not stealing. They're in a safe environment. They feel safe here, and that's pretty much our goal. Is to if they feel safe and they're here, they're not out causing trouble. They're not going to get hurt.
Right.
This is a safe area.
And that seems to be the message that the kids tell me, when I talk to them. Right. Hey, we're safe at the center. And I think now with the new center here, I mean, this is just, what an opportunity for Fairfield.
Yeah.
What an opportunity.
We are limited by nothing. We can expand this as much as we can.
Great. I'd like to thank Sergeant Corella for being a guest here on the show.
My pleasure, Vice Mayor.
Absolutely. And we will return with the coordinator, Will Bible, of the Pal Center shortly.
Our daughter might be drinking or taking something else. We can't talk with her about it. She keeps everything secret. But when I pretend everything is okay, I'm keeping secrets too. My therapist suggested Al-Anon family groups. It was helpful to hear what other parents said. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with my next guest, Will Bible, who's the program coordinator here at the Pal Center. Welcome, Will.
How you doing?
I'm really glad you're here. So tell us a little bit about your role, of course, at the old Pal Center, but now at the new Pal Center. Has that changed, and what do you think of the new center?
Well, basically my role is program coordinator, so I help run activities. I facilitate other people running activities and just keep the place going smoothly. At the old center, it's pretty much the same what we do here, but here because of the new space and we have, it's just bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, so we're able to do a lot more things here. One of the main things is we're able to do a lot more things at the same time. So we could give kids multiple options at once instead of only giving them one or two at a time. So now you can do your homework, you can play basketball, and you can play chess or box all at the same time because we have the room now. At the old center, we only had one room, one major room. So if something was going on in there, whatever else that could have been going on in there, it had to be delayed. So I think we're still playing the same role of trying to help these kids. I don't want to say save, I want to say help them.
Help them.
You know, because if they want to be, they're going to have to save themselves.
Right.
But as far as we're just giving them the resources and helping them on a bigger scale now.
Well, you know, the funny thing is you know, Will and I are kind of in the same business. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I work with kids, and obviously you work with kids, and you know, the reason why I got into it, you know, just wanting to help kids, like you said. And
Right.
You know, I don't use the word save either. It's like, hey, let's help the kids, help families, you know.
Definitely.
So why did you decide to get into this kind of work?
You know what? My dad is, since I could remember, has been a coach, has been a mentor, and everything else. Growing up in San Francisco, my dad was always a coach. And then the kids in the neighborhood, my dad was always around and helping the other kids in the neighborhood. So I guess growing up, I was always seeing my dad doing that. And when we got out here, he was even more busy, but he was still doing it. And he was at every one of my games, whether it was raining or whatever. He was at every one of my games and he worked every day, but he was at my games and all of that. So I guess it kind of just happened. Like I helped him a little bit growing up with his teams as I got older with my little brothers. But when I went away for college, I came back and I was just like, I had a degree, but I didn't really know what I was good at. And my dad told me, why don't you go work with some kids? And I tried it, and I feel like I excelled at it. You know, I did a good job, had a good rapport with the kids, and it just continued from that. And I could only say it had to come from seeing my dad all those years. And even now to this day, he's retired now, and now he has a traveling softball team, Lady Rebels. And he's coaching at Fairfield High, you know, baseball. So it just comes from seeing my dad doing that, and it was just in me, and I just didn't know till I came back here from college.
And I can answer the question, and Will say, you know, he thinks he's good at it. I know he's good at it because what the kids tell me. You know, I hear, you know, Will this, and Will does this, and you know, you really, the kids in this community really look up to you. Will, you do a great job.
To be honest, they make it easy.
Right.
Like you don't realize how much a kid can accomplish until you just give them some attention.
Give them a little bit.
Yeah, give them a little attention. And I'm blown away sometimes because I'll admit sometimes I'm like, okay, I know this kid could do this and this.
Right.
And then they do this, 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 and this. You know, and I'm like, whoa, like that's awesome. So, I feel like I do a little bit. I think it's just that little bit of attention that I might give them that helps them out.
Well, and you do a lot. But let me ask you one last question here. Volunteers at PAL. Do you have a hard time getting people to volunteer, people in the community, or do you get an outpouring of people?
You know what? I've only worked for PAL at the Matt Garcia Youth Center. Right. So I honestly don't think we've ever had a problem. And I don't know if it's because people in our community are just great people, or if it's because they just remember Matt.
Right.
And they want to help whatever Matt has his name associated with, and Teresa and Raymond, or whatever they have their names associated with, people just want to help. Right. So I don't think we've really ever had a problem with volunteers per se. People come through, people do some fantastic things, whether it's little or big, you know. So I think we have a pretty good handle on volunteers, and I know in the future we're going to continue to have that because community wants to help. Plus, Matt had a legacy that people want to help out with.
He sure did, you know, and that's the thing. I know Matt would be so proud right now, this center and all the help and his vision, and you know, me being, you know, his former principal over at Armio,
Right.
and the conversations we had about, you know, working with youth in this community, and I'm sure he's looking down on us saying, hey,
Yeah.
you know, great job, Will.
Great job to all of us. Great job to the police department.
Absolutely.
Heather, you know,
Yeah.
the council members, like, it's just a great job from everybody within this community to do something.
Absolutely.
I'm just the small vessel that you guys allow to help out, you know, so.
Okay, Will, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you.
one of the guests today, and this was a great segment here, and thank you, everybody, and thank you for enjoying Youth Focus, and we'll see you next time. I'd like to thank my guests today, Chief Walt Tibbett, Fairfield Police Department, Sergeant Kevin Corella of the Fairfield PD, and Program Coordinator Will Bible here at PAL. You know, the Sullivan Interagency Youth Center, this is a very unique program, and we're trying to here to connect the dots, break down the silos, this is something that the residents of Fairfield can be very proud of. You know, a great investment for the future of Fairfield. There's going to be people coming from all over the country to look at this program, and all we can see is a bright future ahead of us. So I'd like to thank everybody once again for watching, and we'll see you next time.